Welcome to Chung Tian Buddhist Temple. My name is Gary and I'm one of the tour guides here at the temple. Whilst you may not be able to visit the temple yourself, I would like to take the chance to show you around my spiritual home. I'm now standing in the entrance of Chung Tian Buddhist Temple, and I'm standing beside a statue of our founding master, Venerable Master Zen Garden. This temple is one of 300 temples worldwide. And at our temple, we have ordained venerables, such as Venerable Master Zen Garden. Here we have ordained nuns, and also we have, as our volunteer, and I'm one of them, our BLIAQ, which is the Buddhist Light International Association of Queensland. On my left-hand side, we have the reception office, so if you're visiting the temple, you could call into the reception office and book your meditation classes or tours of the temple. And on my right-hand side is the BLIAQ office, where volunteers and the staff help run the voluntary arm of this Buddhist temple. Right now I'm standing out the front of our main shrine. And before we proceed into the main shrine, I'd just like to point out some characteristics of this particular temple. It's actually been built in the style of the Ming Dynasty. And the colours of this temple are representative. The gold colour represents the Enlightenment, the Buddha's Enlightenment, and the red colour is very auspicious for Chinese people. I'd like now for you to look up to the top of the entrance to the temple, and along the ridgeline you'll see terracotta figures, and they represent dragons, which in Chinese culture link heaven and earth. And then if you come right to the end of the ridgeline, you'll see a group of figures, and right at the very end you see a bird, and it's looking back over its shoulder. It's a phoenix, and the phoenix represents that we should always be aware of those people that aren't as well off as us, and we should be caring about people that need our compassion. I'm now standing in front of the main shrine inside of the Bodhisattva Hall, which is the main hall within the temple complex. I'd like to point out to you this whole area, from this pagoda of lights to that pagoda of lights, from the floor that I'm standing on right up into the statue of Guan Yin Bodhisattva, that whole area is a shrine. And we have many shrines in the temple, but this is probably the most ornate. I'm now sitting in front of the shrine in the meditation hall, arguably the most important room within the temple complex, according to Gary. And the reason why I say it's so important is because this is the room where people first come to the temple head for. Most people that come to this temple sign up for our meditation classes. They're very popular. And every meditation class has a different teacher. So we have 3 levels of teaching meditation in this temple. That's one for beginners, one for the people that have been here a while, and the one for the people that have been here a long while. The area that I'm standing in now is directly behind our main shrine, the Bodhisattva Hall, and it is our Zen Garden. And in the Zen Garden is a statue of another Bodhisattva. This Bodhisattva is actually Maitreya Bodhisattva, depicted here as a seated young man. Maitreya is the future Buddha, or the Buddha to come. The area that I'm standing in is also one of our later parts of our construction, is the art gallery, and at the end of the art gallery is our coffee shop. The art gallery has different showings of art about every 8-12 weeks. I'm now standing in the tea room, not to be confused with our coffee shop. The tea room is specifically for people that want to see the actual tea ceremony. School groups can actually book this, as well as other groups that want to come to the temple. Some groups actually come here just for the tea ceremony. It takes about an hour, and it has in it a lot of the history of tea in China. Some 3 millennia ago, the Chinese were brewing tea as part of their culture. Interestingly, they use tea a lot like we do. When we have guests in our home, first thing that comes out is the tea. In Chinese culture, the same thing happens. They also have it as part of their wedding ceremonies. If there's a problem within the family, they'll sort it out over a cup of tea. Interestingly, in Chinese culture, the youngest person in the room will serve the oldest person in the room first. So if you're interested in tea, come to Chung Tian Temple. The building behind me is the Chung Tian Buddhist Temple's pagoda. It was very important for us to build this pagoda because it fulfills a real need within the temple complex. It is the repository of the ashes of deceased people from level 2 to the top. On the ground floor, which has public access, there is an entry foyer containing, on a shrine, a standing Buddha. Not the historical Buddha though. He is the Amitabha Buddha, or the Buddha of the Western Pure Land, or the Buddha of Infinite Light. Buddhas have lots of names, and he's no different. There's 2 side rooms to the pagoda off the foyer. One has a statue of the Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva, and the other one has a seated figure of the Amitabha Buddha. All of these rooms have public access, and people are welcome to come to the temple to view the pagoda or to make an offering for their loved ones who may be deceased. The offerings can be made in each of the 3 rooms, as these 3 Buddhas, 2 Buddhas and Bodhisattva, have made special vows to look after those who are into their next rebirth. I hope you've enjoyed your tour. When the time's good and the temples are open again, please come back and enjoy your own tour. Thank you.